Great, my name is Bill Gardner. I'm part of the technical marketing team focused on Arista security solutions. In this segment, I'm going to show you how the Awake platform provides advanced AI visibility and autonomous threat detection for Wi-Fi connected devices that other solutions are blind to, like IoT, OT, and other types of devices. I have a lot of ground to cover quickly, so if you can, hold your questions to the end, and we'll have a few minutes to go through those. I'm going to be speaking today to a recording of an Awake system that I made in my lab. Let me start with an overview of the Awake architecture and get my little video going here. Great. So the Awake platform is an AI-driven, extensible architecture to collect network traffic from a wide range of sensors and devices, either wireless or wired, physical, virtual, or via direct integration with network and cloud infrastructure components, such as the Arista DANS monitoring fabric, or span ports on switches from Arista and other network infrastructure providers. The platform nucleus continually analyzes all network communications, and the patented IoT Security knowledge graph automatically discovers devices, users, and applications on the network without having the need for endpoint agents or integrations into third-party devices. We do this based on network behavioral fingerprints for those entities and can track the entity even as an IP address change over time. Our patented adversarial modeling language, or AML, enables the detection of an attacker's malicious intent across the entire kill chain. And the final key component is the virtual assistant called AVA, which automatically initiates questions and queries and pre-computes answers to enable quicker validation and response and up-level skills of the security team. So taken together, the AI and ML capabilities enable detection and remediation of attacks using segmentation via Arista Cloud Vision, endpoint isolation via an EDR agent, or integrations with other infrastructure components. So let's start with visibility. Visibility is all about getting answers to important questions quickly, easily, and accurately. Let's go through some of these questions and see how Awake provides the answers. Start with the dashboard. The dashboard, modular, customizable view into the big picture. It provides the baseline visibility into what devices are using the network, where they're going, and how they're getting there. So the first question is, what resources and assets exist? As you can see, the devices widget provides a view into any type of device, what OS is using, and if it's managed by a security agent like AV or EDR. We'll look further into one of these systems to see what information is available. We click on the Windows Managed group and drill down into the system B Robertson. This takes us to the Entity IQ entry for this device. Entity IQ provides the primary view and all the relevant details, each entity in the left pane. Second, who's accessing these resources? You can highlight the username entry to provide the answer on who's been accessing this device. Where's my data coming from? Understanding where the data being analyzed by this system originated is an important part of having situational awareness. We identify both the number of sensors and the identity of the DANS controller involved with monitoring device. And then are any of these systems activities suspect? There's the threat display on the right, which lists suspect activities with the system. Clicking into the threat card takes us to a summary of this activity. And then finally, how can I enforce controls? Clicking back to the device page shows that the system has been identified as being managed by Sentinel-1. Clicking into the entry allows us to disable the network interface on this system. Controls can be implemented manually, as we just saw, or automatically configured. So as we can see, the system visibility provided by Awake delivers all the answers we need to a number of pretty important questions. But Awake doesn't stop with just visibility. The intelligence built into the system allows it to detect threats on its own, as well as hunting for additional background data that's relevant to the attack and which provides the context needed for the operator to quickly and accurately validate the detection and respond appropriately. We present the attack information as a situation. Situations provide a complete view into the full life cycle of an attack, from the initial exploit or entry point to lateral movement, command and control, and data exfiltration, to name just a few. We'll walk through a situation in detail, which illustrates how we're enabled you to detect malicious activity that no other technology can readily find. This is an example of a real-life attack that Awake detected in one of our customer accounts. The attack was performed by a trusted insider using an IoT device, a Polycom phone, which recorded sensitive discussions taking place in the corporate boardroom. These recordings were then exfiltrated via an encrypted email session to a well-known public email system. Look at the timeline display on the left. we can see that data was exfiltrated in two distinct sessions, first beginning a few hours after a board meeting. We also see that two distinct threat models were triggered. The first identified activity is IoT device exfiltrating data via SMTPS. The second is exfiltration, scripted upload to cloud service. Obviously, an IP phone shouldn't be sending an email. The details and timing of the second activity show it was being performed by a script, not a human. The attack map on the right identifies the specific phone involved with the attack and lists the domain the device was communicating with. We'll start at the beginning and look at the first exfiltration event. Clicking on View Details takes us to the Awake workbench. You get a full summary of the activity is displayed with time, source, destination, etc., and a brief description of the activity. In this case, the device is requesting a Gmail connection. Next, we'll examine the device that's at the center of the attack by viewing the system details. This leads us back to Entity IQ. Fingerprints for each device are calculated, and any devices showing similar characteristics and behaviors are identified. These two elements are key factors in calculating both risk scores and minimizing false positives. The fingerprints identify that the device is responsible for 100% of SMTPS traffic on the network. Looking at the similar devices listed shows them all to be Polycom phones and confirms that SMTP traffic has not been sent by any of them. By calculating and comparing these very granular fingerprints for each device observed and correlating these fingerprints with other similar devices over time and with the other analytics available, enables the system to achieve very high levels of accuracy and actually detect malicious intent of the behavior. So in just a few clicks, the system's automatically identified a threat, provided comprehensive data and guidance for the operator to understand and validate the detection, and provided an easy way to respond and mitigate the threat, either manually or automatically. So you can see the platform is an important part of your network. Integrating advanced security technologies directly into the architecture has been pointed out at the beginning of today's session represents, we think, the wave of the future. And I personally am proud to be at the forefront of this trend. So I do have a few more minutes left, so happy to take questions.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'm curious about is where does this fit in? Is this an additional licensed offering? You need CloudVision to use this. I got off the rails a little bit following.
No, that's a great question. Yes, currently this is an additional standalone offering that a customer can deploy in their Arista network. But this also works just the same outside of an Arista network environment as well. So it's pretty much up to the choice of the customer, how they would like to deploy this.